All right, I just got to the hotel in Barcelona. As you can see here, I'm charging my phone with my computer because I forgot a converter. So that is step one for today.
Step 2 is head to the rooftop of the hotel for dinner. I was staying at the Hotel Casa Bonay. Tyler and I had stayed here a year before and we really loved it, so I came back. It was the perfect time of day to sit up here, not too hot, not too cold, a little too early for traditional Spanish dinner, but just before sunset, so light snacks and a drink felt like the perfect activity. I brought Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life to keep me company. I got to the restaurant right before they started serving dinner, so I started with some mixed nuts before diving into cucumber salad and yogurt chicken with pita bread. Jet lag quickly caught up with me around 9 p.m., so I scurried back to my room to jump into bed and get a head start on the next day. I woke up super early, and as soon as the coffee shop downstairs was opened, I headed there with Great Big Beautiful Life in hand and had a coffee and a croissant before my yoga session. I had to get to yoga at 10 a.m., so I filled up my water bottle and headed upstairs to grab my bag. Little did I know, I didn't click the water bottle lid tight enough, and it ended up spilling all over my book. Oh, I'm sorry, Emily Henry, but I managed to blow dry the pages, so I was able to continue reading it, so little harm, little foul, I suppose. I'm a ClassPass girl, so I always try to find a class when I'm in a new city. I booked this one a few days in advance and was really intrigued by the interactive walls. The class was a slow flow, which was just what I needed after a long flight. After yoga, I strolled back towards my hotel and popped into Onus Coffee for pastry and coffee number 2. Iced coffee isn't a normal happening in most parts of the world outside of the US, so it was a nice surprise to get a nice latte here.
This is day 2 for me in Barcelona. I got here yesterday at like 4 p.m. Came straight to the hotel, showered, changed, went up to the rooftop, had a gorgeous, like crispy, cold Spanish beer, and what do they have? Almonds that were delicious, and a cucumber salad that changed my life. Gonna figure out how to make it and never stop making it. And chicken, that was really good as well, but finished that up, had a great sleep, and then hit the town this morning, did a nice hot yoga, and now I'm getting ready to go explore. So come along. This is the outfit of the day. It's super bright right here, so it's very hard to see. There's a ton of light coming from up there. But yeah, this is pretty cute. I got this skirt from Nuuly. It's very fun. This top is ref from like last summer, and these shoes are Dolce Vita from like a million summers ago.
I started my shopping day at COS, and I ended up getting this dark denim top, which I loved, and then I headed over to Fabulous, which you would have seen if you're anywhere on the internet. They're the best ballet flats, and Mary Jane's. They're super cute. Then it was off to Arket, which is my favorite store in Europe. They have the best high quality basics, and I always find something that becomes a wardrobe essential whenever I'm in there. After shopping up a storm, I headed to El Nacional market for tapas and cava. It's such a nice spot to eat alone because there's tons of bar seating, so you're never gonna feel awkward. I started off with just chips and a pan con tomate and hung out to enjoy the ambience and rest my feet after walking around the city all day. Back at the hotel, a sign of a day well spent. I did a quick change and dropped the bags and headed out to visit the Picasso Museum. I booked a 6:30 p.m. slot in hopes that I'd beat the crowds, and I kind of did. I like to take my time in a museum and not feel rushed by throngs of people. I also got an audio guide included with my ticket, so I actually used it and spent the time to listen to descriptions, and it really helped and changed my experience. Tyler and I visited the Picasso Museum in Paris on our honeymoon last year, and I was excited to see how this collection compared. There were a lot of unique pieces from different phases of his life, but I was most surprised to learn that he had a ceramics era, and that he also worked on set and costume design for the Russian ballet. One similarity between the two collections was there was a lot of work shown from his time during his stay in Cannes at his place that he called La Californie, which is confusing because you'd think that would be in California, but it's actually in Cannes. And a lot of that work is very tropical looking, which again, you would think leans more like California because you don't picture Cannes being tropical, but some of my favorite pieces from the collection. You would never guess that this was the exterior of the exhibit. The interior of the building was so sleek and modern, but the exterior fits in with the classic Gothic architecture of the Elborn neighborhood. It's not a visit to a museum without a stroll through the gift shop, and this store was filled with books. I was so tempted to snag one of these ice cream sherbet colored ones, but my bags were already pretty full, so I snapped a photo to remind myself to try and find it later. I'd been to Barcelona a handful of times, but I'd never been to Ciutadella Park. I figured since it wasn't too far from the Picasso Museum that I may as well check it out. It was bustling with happy couples, young families, tourists on rowboats, and street vendors. I spent like 20 to 30 minutes strolling around the park and soaking up the pre-sunset vibes before I started to get hungry and set off to find some dinner. Tyler recommended a cool tapas bar called Bar Pimentel that was completely booked, so I had to keep searching. I decided to walk out of the Elborn area and head in the direction of my hotel to hopefully find a quiet spot that didn't require a reservation. And I lucked out just as my feet felt like they were about to fall off. I sat down at Cavieres Serra and I had the best sandwich of my life. I took a lot of videos and photos of this sandwich and me enjoying the sandwich because it was incredible. I can't even explain how good it was. I also got to see some really cute Goldie babies strolling around. That's it. That was my quick solo trip to Barcelona before heading to Palma to meet Tyler. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.